What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, Nurse Midwife A. My name is Aisha and I'm a certified nurse midwife. This channel is intended to be your one-stop shop for all things women's health, personal finance, and nursing. And you guys, today's topic is going to be a really good one. First of all, if you're not following me on Instagram, I want you to go ahead and pause the video, head over to Instagram and start following me. In case you didn't know, I do a lot of personal finance coaching and content over on my Instagram, and I specifically work with nurses to help them take control of their personal finances. And so this topic is actually one that I get a lot of feedback, a lot of questions on. There's a lot of confusion around 401ks and Roth IRAs. So if this is something that you are interested in learning more about, then please keep watching. Alright guys, but before we jump into it, you already know what to do. Go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content or that you like this kind of content. It lets me know that you enjoy this kind of content, and I will make more of it for you. And then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Of course, subscribe for more content and personal finance videos and information if you're ready to finally take control of your finances. And make sure you hit the notification bell, that way you never miss a single upload from me. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic. So guys, like I mentioned, I do personal finance coaching with nurses, and the number one question I usually get is, what is a Roth IRA and how does that compare to a 401k? They ask, do I need both? What are the pros? What are the cons? What are the benefits? I'm just so confused. I don't know what to do. So hopefully this video will clear up any confusion that you have. And so what we're going to do is I'll talk about each account, the Roth IRA, the 401k, and I'll talk about each account's pros and cons. So we'll start with the Roth IRA, which is a individual retirement account. So a Roth IRA is an account that an individual will open up using a brokerage account. Okay, so as an individual, you go online and you use something like Fidelity or Lincoln Financial, any brokerage account, or even like your bank, and you will open up a Roth IRA, and it's an individual retirement account. And so when you put money in your Roth IRA, it's coming from money that has already been taxed. Okay, so it is post-tax dollars that you are using to fund your Roth IRA. Now, your Roth IRA can just be used as a savings account. If you wanted to use it that way, you can just put your money in a Roth IRA for savings. But there is no advantage to doing it that way, because you're not going to really earn any interest on your money just sitting in a Roth IRA without investing it. So the next part to having a Roth IRA is turning around and investing the contributions that you put into the Roth IRA. And so you can invest those contributions into stocks, mutual funds, and bonds. We're not going to go into that in this video, but just know that once you put your money in a Roth IRA, you can turn it around and start investing and reinvesting those dividends to create compound interest and start creating gains and, passive income. So that is how you fund a Roth IRA. It is with post-tax dollars. Also, with a Roth IRA, there is a maximum annual contribution, which is $6,000. It changes every year, but for the past, since 2020 and 2021, the maximum contribution is $6,000 per individual, and $7,000 if you're 50 or older. And they allow an additional $1,000 for you being 50 or older if you need to try to play catch up and put more money away towards retirement, because obviously if you're 50 or older, you're closer to the retirement age. One of the really cool things about a Roth IRA is that whatever amount of money you contribute to your Roth IRA can be withdrawn without any penalty at any time. So that's really cool, because a lot of times when you're saving for retirement, it's an account that you really don't want to touch, or you will be penalized for trying to access that money. But in terms of a Roth IRA, whatever you contribute to the account, not talking about the profit that you make from your investments, but whatever dollar amount, if you contribute, let's say $3,000 to your Roth IRA, but then you earn dividends on it, and so you earn, let's say, $2,000 in gains, you cannot take out that profit, but you can take out the original $3,000 that you contributed penalty free. So that takes away some of the risk in case you need to access that money. Although I wouldn't recommend it. I would go into investing in a Roth with money that you don't plan to use anytime in the short-term future within the next 5 years. But if it's something you needed to do in a case of emergency, you certainly could without being penalized. So now we'll talk about the 401k, which is in a traditional retirement account that is usually hosted by a person's employer. Okay, so it's an employer hosted account where automatically a portion of your paycheck, whatever you decide that you want to contribute, you will contribute automatically from your paycheck to this 401k. And typically, as an incentive, your employer will offer something like a match, a dollar for dollar match. So if you contribute, let's say $300, the employer might say, for every $300 that you contribute, I will contribute $300 as well. So that's called an employer match, and that is essentially free money. So that's one of the cool parts of a 401k, is that essentially most companies offer some type of employer match, and so it's an incentive to start investing early and right away, and putting in at least, you know, that minimum amount that the employer is willing to match dollar for dollar, and it's free money, like I said. So that's one of the cool parts of a 401k. Another thing about the 401k, it is pre-tax dollars. So this is really cool because what's happening is you're able to contribute this money to your 401k without being taxed. And so if your money is not being taxed, that means you have more of it. And so if you have more money to invest, that means more compound interest that's going to accrue over time, meaning that in retirement you could potentially have a nice lump sum of money because you have been able to contribute these pre-tax dollars. So that's really cool that the money that you are putting in your 401k is pre-tax, and it's also a cool way to kind of save your money from the IRS. So if you make a lot of money, one of the best things that you can do in order to avoid taxes is to contribute more money into your 401k because that money is tax-free. So similarly to the Roth IRA, the 401k also has an annual maximum contribution. It's going to be a lot more. It is $19,500 and then $26,000 if you're 50 and older, with the same concept of like the catch-up thing. So you can contribute up to $19,500 to your 401k annually, which is really awesome because that's a lot of money that you're putting away that is accruing all this compound interest, you know, tax-free, and again, setting you up for a comfortable retirement if you are contributing to it like you're supposed to. So unlike the Roth IRA, your money that is contributed to a 401k cannot be accessed until you're 59 and a half. So there is no way you can access the money prior to being 59 and a half without paying a penalty. And we'll talk more about that later. So now that I've talked about each account, let's go ahead and talk about what the pros and the cons are of each account. So with the Roth IRA account, when you contribute your money, it is after it has already been taxed. So when you actually go to withdraw that money, it's actually going to be tax-free, which is really cool. So say for example, 20, 30 years from now in retirement, we don't know what the taxes are gonna be, but you don't have to worry about that because if you invest in a Roth IRA, because you've already paid your taxes up front. So that's one of the really cool things about a Roth IRA, is that down the line in retirement, when we're not sure of what the taxes are going to look like, you don't have to worry about paying taxes on that money. You take it out tax-free. Another thing that I mentioned is that you're able to withdraw those contributions without a penalty before the age of 59 and a half if you absolutely have to, without a penalty. So that's really cool that that takes away some of the risk that's involved in investing, because you don't have to have your money in there and be penalized if you take it out sooner than 59 and a half. So a con about the Roth IRA is that when you're contributing post-tax dollars, the best thing you want to do is be contributing when you are at your lowest earning years. So say, for example, since you're being taxed on all the money that you contribute to your Roth IRA, you want to make sure that you are in a lower income bracket when you are maximizing your contributions to the Roth IRA, because if you're in a lower tax bracket, that means you're paying less taxes on the money that you're contributing. But of course, as you move up, in theory, you should be moving up in tax brackets as you age, and when you start to earn more, it could be a little bit less of an incentive to invest in a Roth IRA just because you're paying more taxes on it. So that's the con. And so let's talk about the pros of the 401k. The pro of the 401k is you get to contribute a substantial amount of money, $19,500 or $26,000 if you're 50 and older, and that money is tax deductible. So essentially, whatever you contribute to your 401k can be written off for your taxes or lowers your taxable income. And obviously, because you can contribute so much, that gives you more opportunity to earn more and have more earnings and have more saved up in your retirement account once you reach retirement age. A con though to the 401k is that we don't know where we're going to be in terms of taxes, 30, 40 years down the road. So right now we're racking it up, contributing up to $19,500 in your 401k, and that's great, and that money is growing, but how much are we going to be taxed on that when it's time to withdraw that money, at retirement age? So that's one of the things that's unknown. We don't know what taxes are going to be like once we become retirement age. So that's what makes it a con, because it's a little uncertain, right? And so then also there is no way to access that money without a penalty before the age of 59 and a half. Now, if you wanted to get penalized, if you were in a dire situation and maybe you're about to go in foreclosure on your home or something like that, and you really needed to access that money, now you could access that money, but you're going to have a 10% penalty on the money that you take out. On top of that, you have to pay the taxes on it. So that really defeats the purpose of a 401k, because you didn't pay the taxes on it already. So now if you take it out sooner than you're supposed to, you're gonna, not only are you gonna pay a 10% penalty fee, you're also gonna pay taxes on that money. So now that we know the pros and the cons of each account, we know what each account is all about, another question I commonly get from my clients is, which one is better? Which one should I choose? And what I always recommend is that when you're investing, it's always a good idea to have more than one basket. You don't want to put your eggs in one basket. So a good way to approach retirement is to have, post-tax retirement and pre-tax retirement funds. So right now, if you can maximize your Roth IRA contributions to get as much money as you possibly can that's already taxed up front, then that's what you should do, as well as contributing to your 401k. Some advisors will say that if you are already contributing enough to your 401k to get the employer match, that you should come back and max out your Roth IRA, and then once you've maxed out your Roth IRA, go back to your 401k. So that's another way to look at it. So in terms of which one should you tackle first, you want to get the free money from the 401k employer match, and then you want to go max out the Roth IRA, and then come back and put whatever you have remaining in your 401k. But I definitely think a good balanced approach to saving for retirement is to have your eggs spread out and have your money in both baskets. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that cleared up any confusion, any questions, any concerns that you had about Roth IRAs versus 401ks. Of course, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to go ahead and answer those questions. And make sure you like this video. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. It really lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, and it circulates the content to the people who need it, okay? And so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a single upload from me. And make sure you go ahead over and follow me on Instagram and get more of the content that I put out about personal finance over there. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.